Maggie's going to introduce some of the podcasts that we made with our volunteers, and some that they've prepared specially for tonight from different teams. And she's going to introduce them briefly before we listen to them, and then later the last part of the exhibition, including those videos from Ivo and Alper. And then we'll run through a quick Q&A before we wrap up. So Maggie, do you want to go ahead and start with the podcast?
Yes. So as you're all aware, and as we've mentioned a couple of times, a number of our planned activities in 2020, including those relating to our youth parliament, had to be postponed due to the impact of COVID-19. But we were eager to find ways to engage with our volunteers online, and in early November 2020, Marcus and I organised 3 podcast training workshops with our volunteers from across Europe with our German colleague, Barbara Weidman. And so this evening, some of our volunteers will present their most recent podcasts and one video from our creation group, narrating their journeys as volunteers, as members of their communities, and as members of VOLPOWER. So first up, we've got a podcast from Leo from Glasgow. He's one of our Glasgow VOLPOWER volunteers. And Leo is going to talk about his journey from his home country in Somalia to his new home in Glasgow. And in his podcast, Leo tells us about his experiences both as a volunteer sports coach with Achieve More Scotland and as a member of VOLPOWER Glasgow. Leo is actively and enthusiastically engaged with our VOLPOWER creative activities here in Glasgow and was one of the volunteers who attended the podcast training workshop. Outside of volunteering, Leo studies sports coaching and development at Clydebank College. And as you'll get to hear in a minute, I think he's got a real niche for himself in podcasting because he's taken to it very well. So this is Leo.
Hi everyone, my name is Abdul Mohammed and I volunteer with VOLPOWER Scotland. On this podcast, I'd like to share a little bit about myself and my experience as a volunteering. I was born in Somalia to a middle-class family. So growing up, it wasn't easy because we had to move quite a lot, looking for better life. We went to Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Kenya, Ethiopia, all looking for better life until we came to UK. Where I'm from, the UK is kind of a big deal because only the lucky ones get the opportunity to come here. But it wasn't like I imagined in my head. Matter of fact, nothing like I imagined in my head. From the weekend days to lifestyle difference, but time went by, I got used to it. Going to school wasn't easy because I've never been to school. So waking up in the morning to go to school, sitting in the classroom was new to me. And the fact that I never spoke English other than hi or hello, yes or no. Then after a couple of years, I started volunteering with Achieve More Scotland. I started working with young kids, becoming a coach and doing what I love to do, which is playing football. And then through Achieve More Scotland, I got the opportunity to work with VOLPOWER Scotland. In the beginning, I wasn't sure, but I wanted to do something that I've never done before. And I like the idea of VOLPOWER Scotland. Then I met Marcus and Maggie, who I think are one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And everyone else that I met, I can't name all of them, but such amazing people. What I've learned while volunteering is the fact that it's okay to be different, that I don't need to fit in, I don't need to change myself in order to be accepted, and that it's okay to be myself, because that's something I've struggled with. Growing up, when I was young, I just wanted to fit in because we all want to fit in, get accepted, even if that means changing ourselves, even if that means not staying true to ourselves. So volunteering helped me develop my self-esteem as I met people that really cared for me, people that were genuine, people that wanted the best for me. So I think the best thing that's ever happened to me was having the chance to volunteer, because I believe it changed my life. I believe I'm in a better place than I was before, and all of that is due to volunteering and meeting amazing people and getting outside of my box, you know, doing something that I've never done before. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Leo. That's only the second podcast that Leo has made. So, you know, I think he's got a real talent for doing that. I think he's going to make some more. Next, we have our Slovenian team, and Neva is going to introduce it. Neva is one of our VOLPOWER volunteers in Slovenia, in Ljubljana, and she's going to introduce our next podcast, where she'll explain it in the context of VOLPOWER, diversity and inclusion, and it's about rituals. Neva, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay, thank you, Maggie. Well, as one of VOLPOWER's volunteers from the Slovenian group, I think that this volunteering experience gave us all, the volunteers from Slovenia, a big space for expression and intercultural interaction. I think we've all managed to express our individual selves quite freely, I would say. But thinking about the concept of inclusion, especially in such a diverse group with individuals from completely different culture and social backgrounds. We had, Turkey, Eritrea, and Ethiopia, Slovenia, Myanmar. Well, it made me think about the concept of rituals. And this cultural feature of rituals in our society, it's a really important element that's definitely kept us as a group somehow connected throughout the whole project. Especially the ritual of sharing traditional food, which really became a sort of inclusion facilitator. And this is where we got this idea to make this little podcast where Marcos and we reflect on rituals that are dear to us and give us character and represent an amazing socialization tool. So.
Thank you, Neva.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll play this podcast now. Thanks so much for that.
Of course, my pleasure.
Hello, my name is Andrea, and today we're going to talk about rituals. Rituals are a feature of all known human societies. They include not only the worship rites and sacraments of organized religions and cults, but also rites of passage, atonement and purification rites, dedication ceremonies, coronations and presidential inaugurations, marriages, funerals, and more. Even common actions like handshaking and saying hello may be termed as a ritual. Daily rituals are an inevitable part of our own cosmos. With practicing daily rituals as washing our teeth, making coffee, having a walk, watching favorite TV show on particular day of the week, we are making sense out of the day. We are making cosmos out of chaos that surrounds us. Special rituals, like having dinner with friends, birthday celebrations, going to travel, etc., are occasions that break the routine of daily life and satisfy our higher needs. Now we'll hear Neva and Marcos telling us something about their ritual, personal and cultural one.
Hello, my name is Neva, and I would like to say a few words about the importance of rituals. So rituals have great power because we give thought to them, we take time for them, and we create a special place for them. Therefore, I believe that they increase the quality of our lives. I am practicing rituals coming from three different directions in my life mostly. One is my cultural heritage, then my family heritage, and then my own lifestyle that I have created in the past few years. My cultural heritage, for example, gives me the practice of celebrating Christmas with my family. This is where we reunite, where we give attention to each other, and over and over again understand how family time is important. Then let's say my family heritage gave me a few lovely rituals to practice. One is bedtime stories. So my parents were reading bedtime stories to me until I was 14 years old, and this is what increased my imagination, and this is how I think I learned to look at life from maybe a few different angles. Another ritual that I cherish a lot is how my mom taught me to create a beautiful space for friends. Each Sunday she organized a Sunday breakfast with friends where she invited people over, and this is where we just spent time eating delicious food and exchanging experiences. Let's say that one of the most important rituals coming from my family is the one where we sang and did music with my parents. This is how I have my singing abilities. A ritual that I have created myself during the past few years is the one where I learned to stop, to breathe, to stretch my body, to self-reflect, but also say very, very nice things to myself. And this is how I can see all the beautiful things that happen in my life, and this is how I'm grateful for living, and therefore more happy to be able to exist on this planet. So now I would like to give a few words to Marcos to say something about his favorite rituals.
Today we're gonna speak more about Ethiopian coffee ceremonies. So how people are gathering, how they drink coffees in Ethiopian culture. So Ethiopian coffee ceremonies mostly take around 1 hour process. In this process, you will see everything on process from green coffees to a roasted, grinded, until it's come to your cup, So until you see all the process in the coffee ceremony. So it will take 1 hour and 1 hour 30 minutes maximum. So in the culture of Ethiopian coffee ceremonies, they drink it with people. So like if I make coffee today at my place, so I invited to my neighbors, my friends, families together. So it's more to socialize. The coffee ceremony more connected to socialize and to speak, to know each other better, like your neighbors or your friends or your family. So there gonna be a lot of different topics on coffee ceremonies, a lot of creations, a lot of music. So it's not just coffee, it's also some social life, meeting new people on the coffee also can be. So these coffee ceremonies is very old, it's almost 1,000 years old. This is more or less the Ethiopian coffee ceremonies look like, but if you need more detailed pictures and detail how it look like, you can Google in YouTube by writing Ethiopian coffee ceremonies, then you will find more history about it. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone who will listen this, and have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Neva and Marcos and Andrea from our Slovenian team in Ljubljana. That was really great, and thank you for introducing that, Neva. I appreciate that.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah. So now we have a podcast from our Italian team in South Tyrol, and Asia and Anna and Valentina are three of our volunteers there, and they're going to describe their understandings of volunteering through a word composition using the letters that spell out VOLPOWER. So I'll just, Asia is going to introduce it. So we've got quite a lot of different podcasts. Here we are.
Volunteering is different for everyone. The way we experience our story is very different. But in VOLPOWER, you have the chance to bring your point of view together with the ones of other volunteers. All our experiences are shared, but not merged, so that everyone's story remains valuable and worthy to be heard. Valentina and Anna gave their own idea of their VOLPOWER experience with word compositions. Can you find anything that resonates with you? Let's hear them.
VOLPOWER wie V, volle Kanne, all in. O wie ohne Angst, without fear. L wie lustig, funny. B wie fantasievoll, visionary. O wie alle miteinander, all together. W wie Weichen stellen, to set the course. E wie engagiert, dedicated. R wie reich an Erfahrungen, rich in experiences.
For me, VOLPOWER is V come valigia, suitcase. O come oltre i confini, beyond the borders. L come legami, connections. P come punti di vista, points of view. O come occasione, occasion. W come wow. E come entusiasmante, exciting. E R come ricordi, memories.
So thank you to our VOLPOWERs from South Tyrol, who gave us quite an innovative podcast there about what volunteering means to them. And next we've got a video actually from our VOLPOWER team in Zagreb in Croatia. And Ilma is going to introduce this next one. The volunteers here are part of a forum theatre group who write, rehearse and perform theatre sketches in schools and youth groups in their local communities. And I'm going to let Ilma tell you a bit about what their forum theatre is and what they do. Ilma.
Hi, I'm here. So hello everyone, my name is Ilma and I'm from Croatian team, and I will tell you something about what we did. So our group, Leila, Larissa, Anissa and me, over the last 2 years we did forum theatre workshops. And if you didn't know what is that about, I will tell you something. So forum theatre is actually a theatre game with rules in which there is an unresolved problem presented to the audience, and they are invited to suggest, or if they want, they can act a potential solution. Everything actually revolves around the conflict which they are trying to solve. And acting is going on, and then when the conflict is about to happen, everything freezes, and the audience is then invited to participate and tell their idea. If the conflict isn't resolved with that, we start from the middle and try new ideas they suggest. And sometimes the conflict is solved, sometimes they don't, but everything actually depends on what kind of idea they propose. The things we talked the most are from the area of the culture, tolerance, and the oppression in the society. We acted about the things that actually happens every day in our life, and with a purpose. We had a goal to expand the understanding and prevention actually of such situations, and also to encourage many to think about that and to participate in their prevention. We had a great team. We had 15 students who joined us, and they all wanted to act, and they all really did their best, and even more than that. They put a lot of effort and time, because we meet 2 times a week, and they're a really great team, and we were all into it. They also enjoyed it. We also had our final performance, but hopefully not less, because everyone really liked it. And we tried to edit a little video from our rehearsals, and don't judge our editing skills, please. But I want you all to see how we acted, and we all had fun, learned something new, gain new friendship, and all that while resolving and talking about issues in everyday life. And sorry that the video is in Croatian, because we acted in Croatian, but I hope you all get our message. That's it.
Thank you, Ilma. The Croatian group was one of the ones that I was privileged enough with Marcus and Umit to go and meet. And we met them in the space that they do their rehearsals, and I'm so excited because I really love forum theatre. I think it's a really valuable art form in communities and can make a lot of difference. So I think this is clips of your rehearsals, and I think there's some bloopers in there as well. But let's Thank you for sending this.
Ti zupam malo, ja zupam malo.
Jel moraju cijelo vrijeme sjediti?
Ne, ako
Nemoj snimati. Nikad me ne pozoveš na neku večeru, ni apsolutno
ne možete svako večeru da vam ljudi ne dolaze bez žena. Kako sada da budeš jedina moja žena? Može, više se ne vrati se, malo pitko, sjetim se, na bivšu općinu kao međunarodni razvojni festival, Slobozi. Hađi Begović.
Hej! Jel ti bilo lijepo kad ste bili slušali? Tebi govori. Ti, migrant jedan. Odakle si došla, tamo si radi. Znaš. Dobro.
Ali što? Ako vam ne odgovara, šut! Čekaj, ti nije dosta, je? Ajde, dosta. Čovjek, svi muslimani. Nego, skidaj tu maramu i gubi se iz busa, ajde!
U trenutku neke publike predloži.
Šta publika predloži? Nešto što mi nismo isplanirali i... Zakarija. Zakarija. On kući i silu. Dobro, je on jedan. Bilo je prije ovaj. Hvala. Onda sam ne znam kako. Onda se samo različiti u vjeru. To bi bilo sve za večeras. Vidjeli ste sjajne izvođače, još gore izvedbe. A sada bi bilo to sve od nas. Ostanite uz naš program. Hvala lijepo.
Thank you, Ilma. Thank you all for all the team in VOLPOWER Zagreb. You're all amazing. So our very last podcast is by another of our Glasgow VOLPOWER volunteers, and his name is Maddie. And he also volunteers for Achieve More Scotland. And Maddie's actually progressed from being a volunteer to a part-time employee. And he too concentrates on football coaching, but he also leads school children in other sports activities. And as a volunteer, Maddie was actually awarded Volunteer of the Year by Achieve More. And like Leo, Maddie also travelled from his home country in Somalia to Glasgow when he was a young teenager. So this is Maddie's.
Hello, hi, my name is Maddie. I'm 24-year-old. I live in Scotland. I moved here when I was 12-year-old with my family, and I really love it. I like my country as well, even though I can't really remember much about it. Because like before I moved here, like I had another long journey to different African countries, like before I moved to Scotland. So I think I was 5 when I left my country. But yeah, maybe I'd love to go back to it, like maybe later in life. Because right now there are wars, like there's still like some civil wars going on down there. But when the right time comes and it's peace, I'll go back there. But right now I'm enjoying here. Everything's good about it, except for the weather. Like it's been snowing lately. Sometimes it's raining like 24/7, which is horrible. But other than that, what I do for a living is I'm a sports coach. Like I work as a schools, like primary schools, working with children, like PE, like with the lover sessions. And I do it with Achieve More Scotland. And through Achieve More Scotland, I meet with VOLPOWER people, Marcus, Maggie. That's how I went to Croatia with VOLPOWER, and I had a really good experience in Croatia. I met with so many new people from different countries, and they were really nice. and I was involved with sessions. Like we had so much fun. It was summertime as well. I would say it was one of my best 5 days in my life, I would say, because over the last few years, like I've been in Scotland, so it was a new experience to go to another European country, especially summertime when it's like too hot. I really liked it, and the majority of people in Croatia, they speak English as well, which helped.
So I'm just going to stop that for a moment. That was Maddie's. So I think that was more than five of our volunteers that created podcasts for us. So it was nice to hear from them all and hear the different ways that they responded to creating these podcasts and recordings.